Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the best point guards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM here on this tier list. And before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Trying to hit 25K, I think, maybe by the end of April or so, which is a couple months away, obviously, but it's going to be a big grind. We just hit 20K. Really appreciate all the recent support on the channel, regardless. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe with that if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's hop right into it, and let's start off with the first card on this list, which is going to be Mr. Austin Reeves. So AR-15. This card, when it comes to the best point guards in the game, is still an S tier PG. Honestly, when it comes to the best cards in the game, I think he's arguably an S tier card. Maybe not even arguably. He might just be an S tier card right now. I mean, he's that good. The fact that he's free is amazing. 3 of the top point guards in the game are free, which is absolutely phenomenal. And this AR-15 is fully grindable and absolutely phenomenal. Elite level shot creator, very capable defender. Great fade, great release. Great SIGs, really just a complete great card. They changed his animations, they gave him sped up his release, gave him a better escape, better behind the back, all that type of stuff. This Reeves card is that man. He's an elite level point guard. He's an S tier card for sure. Baron Davis is mediocre. His release is only on normal. His SIGs are not elite. He is short. He is not an extraordinary defender. He is not an elite level card across the board, honestly. He's not bad, but he is not great either. Damian Lillard. He would be pretty great if he wasn't 6'2", but all of his cards are 6'2". I wasn't going to put 3 different Damian Lillards on this list, but all 3 Galaxy Opal versions of Dame, in my opinion, probably go B tier. I just don't think I can quite go A tier anymore, especially with some of the new cards that have come out and how many good point guards there now are in the game, considering it's only about 5 guys per tier, but I think Dame and B is pretty fair. Booker, I find better than Dame. His offensive capabilities are top tier. Defensively, he's not top tier, but at 6'5", with upgradable defensive badges and solid base defensive badges, he is not a liability defensively the way that his earlier cards were this year. So I think putting him A tier, while I don't have him S tier anymore for me personally, I still think he's a great card. Donovan Mitchell, same boat as Damian Lillard, a little bit small. I will say I don't love D. Mitch's movement quite as much as I like Lillard's, but he is a little bit longer than Lillard, which does help him out. Capable defender, but not next level extraordinary, and again, a little undersized. I know he's only listed at 6'3" instead of 6'1" this time, and he does have a long wingspan, but I still think he's a little undersized and wish his animations were maybe a little better. So I'd say B is pretty fair. This Draymond card, honestly, I think probably goes B as well, like back of B because of his defense. His defense gets him relatively high on the list because he's 6'7", 6'7", and so versatile and switchable defensively, and has great offensive stats and badges too. His release is just on slow, and it's an awful release, like probably the worst release on this list, to be completely honest. And even though he is great and big defensively and super athletic and has great all-around stats and badges, I just think B tier is the highest you can put him because of that release. Jalen Brunson, fun offensive card to use, fun shot creator, but at best C tier. Honestly, when you look at this list, this is the best of the best. I think he's got to go D tier. I think he's one of the 3 or 4 worst cards on this list, and we got to have a few of these guys down in the D tier. So for me, Jalen Brunson, unfortunately, despite being a really fun offensive card to use, is pretty low on the list. Jalen Green, I think, goes back of A. He's a good card, nice Opal point guard, does a lot of things well, decent size at 6'4", but not extraordinary in terms of his release. Shot creation is good, but again, not exceptional, next level extraordinary either. I think probably lower A, to be fair, is a good spot for him. I think that's a pretty reasonable spot. Maybe even B, to be honest. Harden does go S, top 3-point guard in the game, in my opinion. Really, really good card. He is, I guess, technically not free, the Pro Pass version, although the other version is, which does have the release on quick instead of very quick. Still a good release, though. Great SIGs, great all-around shot creation, great defense. Really, well, not great defense, but good defense. Overall, great card. I think B tier is fair. I almost struggle to even put Ja in C. Like, I kind of want to put him D. I cannot stand his SIGs in the half court. I think they're not good. I think his release is good. I think his stats and badges are amazing for a pink diamond. I just think he doesn't move very well. His half court SIGs aren't very good. And he's also a really undersized point guard. Like, I almost want to put him D tier, and I'm actually very tempted to put him D tier, but you know what? Looking at this list, I'm putting him D tier. I would damn near take Brunson over him, even with less athletic ability, because Brunson moves much better. I think D tier is fair. I really do. Luka's S. He's my last S tier. He's my 5th S tier, but I do think he is S. I just think his defensive size and his versatility is valuable enough to overcome the fact that his animations aren't extraordinary. While he's not the best point guard in the game, I do believe his size and his defense and his switchability makes him one of the best, and I think S tier is totally fair. Mac McClung, I'm going to go A. He's only 6'2", but he is as good as it's going to be at 6'2", considering he's got an elite release and he's got top-tier SIGs and animations. I mean, he is a top-tier option offensively, and he is actually very capable defensively with really good stats and badges too. Super-duper athletic, but At only 6'2", that size holds him out of the S tier for sure. I think A tier is fair. Magic Johnson is 6'9". That's about the only value that he really provides to you is elite level size. He doesn't even have the versatility that Draymond does in terms of elite stats and badges and all that type of stuff. Magic is a mediocre card with great size, and that great size does give him enough to be C tier, but not enough to be any higher than that. Marcus Smart, I think he's great defensively. I think he's a really good card. I think A tier is actually, well, probably B tier, because defensively, he's great. He could use some work offensively. He's got pretty good animations, but he's missing some pretty key badges in terms of unpluckable as well as a bunch of shooting badges. And without those, I can't put him higher than B tier. As good of a card as he is, I think that's a pretty fair spot. Mitch Richmond is definitely, in my opinion, better than Jalen Green. I would put him A tier. I think he's super solidly A tier. Like, I think he's 6'5" with a money release. Pretty good SIGs. Overall, good-looking card, man. Good release. Capable shot creation, athletic finisher, one of the better collectible rewards we've seen in recent memory, to be completely honest. I think he's very good. OJ Mayo. I like OJ Mayo. I don't think I could put him higher than B tier on a list this good. I just don't think he's as good as any of the guys at A tier. I don't hate this card. I think as a budget point guard, he's actually pretty good. I've kind of forgotten about him, but he isn't a bad option. He's got a nice release. He's, what, 6'5", 6'6", super athletic, and not horrible defensively. I just don't think he's top tier. I think B tier is probably pretty fair. A tier for Oscar Robertson. He's not top 5, but he's dang good. There's no doubt about it. I think it's totally fair to put him A tier. I don't think I'd put him any higher than that, but I think A tier is fair. Good SIGs, good release, good movement, decent size, good defense. Everything you want, he does at least well. SGA is my favorite point guard in the game. You could make an argument for Reeves, Harden, even this next card, Sidney Moncrief, who is also S tier, by the way. I like Shea the most. I think Moncrief's defense is incredible, and I think that can make him super valuable as well. But honestly, these are my top 5 point guards, and I think they're all kind of somewhat interchangeable depending on what you're looking for at the point guard position and what specifically you want your point guards to be able to do, because all 5 of these guys are great, but in my opinion, this is probably the order that I would have them ranked in this S tier at least. Steph is D. He's a worse version of Brunson in my opinion, not even quite as good of a shot creator, and I don't think his release honestly is as good as Brunson's either. I like Steph, but not compared to these cards. I think D is fair. Same thing with Trey. Trey can't even dunk. 30 driving dunk. 6-foot point guard. Like, that's not going to work. Halliburton is B tier, but when I look at Halliburton at B, it makes me want to move somebody down. And I'm moving Draymond down because his release is the worst thing I've ever seen. So I think that's kind of fair. And then Tyrese Maxey is super Tyrese mid as well. So we're going to put him down in D tier because his release is hitchy and his SIGs are not extraordinary. And I think that's pretty fair. So I could move somebody up into C tier. Maybe I should. Maybe I should move somebody down from B tier, like OJ Mayo or something. Like do something like this. Maybe this is more even, but yeah, you know what? I think we'll go with this because OJ Mayo's defense leaves something to be desired for sure. And I think he's a good card, but I think this is pretty fair because his SIGs aren't incredible. This is a pretty good list, in all honesty. I don't dislike this list. If there's any point guards I left off the list that you'd like to hear my thoughts on, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll try to let you know, respond in the comments, let you know where I would put those cards on the list. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.